Hi everyone, it's Emmanuel, your president for this academic year, and this is a brief overview of my fourth accountability panel update. You can see more details in my paperwork for May 2020 and for previous months updated on our website, and this clearly states what I've been doing for you as president so far. During COVID-19 and physical campus lockdown, I have worked closely with our education officer in delivering the safety net policy. We work closely with the Pro Vice Chancellor Teaching and Learning to negotiate this provision in ensuring that COVID-19 has no detriment to students' final outcome. I've been dealing with a myriad of issues brought to me by our students, ranging from student housing or rent, laptop loans and availability, all the way to helping students access university hardship funds for students who have been going through various hardship situations. As at the 4th of April, over 200 students had applied for the hardship funds, and I'm keeping a close eye on numbers through periodic inquiries to ensure they are accessible as possible, and by this I mean that students are actually being granted the funds. I've been in conversation with the university and student accommodation providers, working with my team in supporting students on accommodation related issues. Most student accommodations providers such as IQ, Hello Students and Host have responded positively. Diggs, which is a university approved accommodation, has only agreed for a 50% release option in term 3 for students with contracts, and our students are unhappy with this. We have, as a result, continued to work with and support our community officer in lobbying Diggs for a better response. I've written to members of parliament and the constituencies around us to join in the campaigns we are supporting locally here in Huddersfield and nationally through the National Union of Students, the NUS. We have for the first time delivered our annual SU Awards online. This year, myself and the officer team hosted the SU Awards through a YouTube live session, which was very well received with lots of engagement and interactions during the live stream, thanks to the amazing job of our marketing team. In terms of my set objectives more generally, in ensuring that students get value for money, we as Huddersfield Students Union, in recognizing and valuing our volunteers, a project I started this year, a newly developed transcript showing the skills gained as well as a certificate developed, has now gone out to 790 of our students. Also, we have also submitted for and won the Kirklees Volunteering Award, and the certificate carries this recognition. This is linked with the university's career services, who will on request offer some support to students in line with employability. With hardship funds opened up to EU students and equally available to international students, I've since kept questioning and demanding for numerical updates on applications to these funds to ensure that international and EU students are actually accessing the hardship funds in this pandemic and lockdown period. Linked with transparency on how student fees are spent, I've been working with the Director of Finance, who has now developed some assets to be made available to students. I'm still chasing the final stage of this up. The pandemic has slowed things up a bit, but hopefully this will be up live and accessible to students before the end of the term. In terms of facility development, following an audit of lockers and microwaves I carried out in collaboration with various school managers, it showed that aside the 620 new lockers that came with the Barbara Hepworth building as a result of our inputs on initial consultation prior to the building, I've managed to get schools this academic year to provide another 446 new lockers, with about 67 orders set for delivery before the lockdown unfortunately hit. In total, from the audit, we now have over 1,200 new lockers across the 7 schools, as well as 20 new microwaves in various locations. And work on other areas of facilities such as baby changing facilities and an interactive digital campus map has been slowed down due to the physical lockdown of university this period. In terms of improving representation for specific groups, I've been working closely with our participation manager, and we have now had a Care Leaver Society finally ratified, set up just before the lockdown restrictions, and once that is lifted, we hope that this will progress further. For our postgraduate research students, I've worked with and supported our equalities officer in developing a PGR charter, which is a joint contractual agreement between PGRs and their supervisors, spelling out clearly obligations of both parties to address some of the issues of conflict that have been raised and brought to our notice previously in order to hold both parties to account. And this will be live in the regulations moving on from now. In terms of our group objectives, which is 5 ways to well-being, and to ensure we are supporting our students with their mental health and well-being, I've worked with my team and we have ensured our advice service have remained open virtually all through to support students. We have had meetings with the University Wellbeing and Disability Services to ensure students could and are still accessing support. We have also introduced and hosted other fun, interactive and engaging initiatives such as the HSU Big Night in Friday quiz, which will help students' loneliness during this period of the lockdown. I have continued to hold regular meetings with the university leadership team, at least one meeting a week with the Pro Vice Chancellor Teaching and Learning, to ensure that I and my team are representing you properly, as well as working with the university to deliver what our students need this period. And within Huddersfield Students' Union, I have worked closely with our chief exec and other senior managers to ensure we are delivering on our union strategy and ultimately we're making students' lives better. Thanks for listening, and please let me know if you have any questions or feedback, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Thank you very much.